as I've been murdered, I will no longer be commentating for the rest of the IPTL season, apparently. So
Well, you must be an undead then.
yes. Casting
Actually,
StarCraft?
I so got the handle stuck under my leg, I could pull it up. I was like, ugh. But I really wanted to shoot Kevin.
Casting StarCraft from the grave now. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner of Whirlwind, we have our pink Terran player from the Team Prime. He is the incomparable, the one and only Marine King. His opponent here in the top left-hand corner is our red Terran player from Evil Geniuses, winner of the last Game Over Classic. Now trying to make it 2 in a row, it's Thorzane.
Whirlwind, a super, super big map. It's huge. And I gotta say, man, we've seen some of the most interesting strategies, outside of SPL, granted, that we really see in StarCraft on this map. Just almost anything is possible, and there's so many places. Whether you're going for like hidden expansions, or another thing is that the ramps are really, really wide.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've seen many a map, such as like I remember a game. I'm gonna forget the players right now, but it's Terran versus Protoss. Terran just went for like. He made like 8 barracks or something and just marched a bunch of Marines up, and the force fields got botched.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge ramp, and it's just easy to mess things up. I love this map. I really enjoy the variety that it brings to the game.
We're 6 games in, and we haven't seen a Zerg player today. I just kind of realized that.
Baffled.
It's been a while.
It's happening, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
EG still got,
yeah.
they got Jaedong, they got Revival, they got Stefano loaded up in their roster, yeah.
Well, market differences from both our players so far already. One ranks gasless fast expand, so it appears from Thorzane. Some players in TVT have been choosing to take like 15 or 16 gas a little bit later. Marine King, on the other hand, going for gas first. Going to open up with that refinery now, get that factory as soon as this barracks is completed, and we'll see what he plans to do with that.
Yeah, you know, it's... well, as I said, you know, it's Whirlwind. You really can do anything. Good things on this map, I mean, Hellions are great. You know, large maps tend to just cater towards faster units in general. They always pose an advantage. So that wouldn't surprise me too much. We'll see if we see the reactor. I'm not... He is making a Marine right now, so it's definitely could be something other than that. And because, yeah, you don't want to hesitate a second to start the reactor. So it looks like he may go for those cloaked Banshees, as we've got 2 gases right now.
That is a super quick second gas. Usually you get that second gas, even if you're going for cloaked Banshees, like right about now, when the factory's about halfway done, slightly more than halfway done, but this refinery's finished.
Cloaked Banshees into mech, Kevin. Cloaked Banshees into mech. Marine King, actually, we did see him go mech the other day. I was pretty surprised by it. Not a playstyle that I had seen him use too much of, but it seems like he's been practicing with it lately. So
yeah, he's quite good at it. I mean, he has, you know, really clever TVC mech builds too. But we'll see what he's going to be up to. Of course, Starboard with Tech Lab dropped onto it, and we're going to see something very... Oh my... Whoa! We're going to see the greediest tech build versus the greediest economic build from Thorzane, as he decides to go triple command center into double gas off of just 1 barracks.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough.
Now, he is going to have scans, lots and lots and lots of scans with this orbital commands. And his economy's not going to be too hampered, of course, because he's still going to be triple producing SEVs. Now, of course...
These barracks are going to be so late. So the number of... What I'm really scared for here from Thorzane isn't necessarily the cloaked Banshees themselves. I mean, they have the possibility of killing him entirely, but I'm really afraid for the follow-up push that Marine King could go for, because if MKP gets in there and kills off the Marines that Thorzane does have and follows this up with some sort of a Marine tank or even like a Marine Banshee Hellion timing, I mean, Thorzane will just die if he loses Marines to start with.
Yeah.
So I'm really anxious to see, is MKP going to expand here, or is he going to pressure? And if he does pressure, that's going to be hard for Thorzane.
All right. Well, looks like
still
Marine
no command center.
Yeah, Marine King's going to check down at the bottom right-hand corner, and oh, here we go. Marine King now sending out an SCV to build that command center.
Kevin.
Yes.
He made 2. Oh no, that's Thorzane. Okay. All right. I was worried. Thought those were MKP's barracks.
No.
And then I shuddered.
Nope. Thorzane needs a couple more barracks now. Yeah, that would have been super all then.
Yeah. But Thorzane would have died.
Yeah. Marine King's still trying to do a little bit of damage here, of course. Thorzane hasn't expended all of the energy on these orbital commands quite yet, so... well, there they go.
Now, we do have pretty quick combat shields here from Thorzane, which is actually super nice. Banshees take 2 shots to kill your Marines. When they don't have combat shields, they take 3 when they do. So that's... I mean, it's going to take a second or 2 to kick in here for Thorzane. Still got about 20 seconds remaining, but It is going to help here in a second.
And he did see the Banshee actually with his orbital command just before it closed. So he knows that it's here. He knows the engineering bay is up, and he's already trying to construct some missile turrets over at his natural. He's just keeping his units around here for a while to try and ward away this Banshee. And even though it got 5 kills, frankly, Marine King needs to do a lot more damage than just a few worker kills with this.
Interestingly enough, Marine King's not making anything at home. Banshee gets shot down.
No.
So what I was saying, Marine King wasn't making anything. He has a ton of minerals, ton of gas, 300, 300. And he only just started making another Banshee right now. He started up +1. I'm anxious to see, maybe he's waiting to get a little more information, though. I think he's seen pretty much every structure of Thorzane's.
Yes. This has actually been a little bit of a disaster for Marine King so far. He hasn't gotten much damage done with these Banshees yet. There's the 3 hits you were talking about before that it takes to kill that, so it delays the Banshee even further. Marines are actually getting in position. They scan. Don't quite kill the Banshee, but it's going to be enough to drive it away for now.
One of the Marines, you guys should have an ability where it's like push. You can just push the other Marine, kind of shove him forwards.
Get up there quicker. I don't want to kill that thing, man. Well, let's see here. I mean, because now, why I said it was a disaster for Marine King is that Thorzane now is on triple command centers. Yes, Marine King is quickly trying to construct his, but Thorzane's going to be, he's already ahead by 6 SCVs. He's continuing, or so I would hope. No, he's actually, why are you not making any more SCVs right now? There we go, 3 being made at a time. And he will be able to stretch his economic advantage.
Yeah, and a big thing for Thorzane, actually, talking about his advantage, is his stim. MKP doesn't even have it started yet. Thorzane's is a little more than halfway done, and that could pose some serious advantages if he decides to go for any sort of timing here.
Now, Marine King did have the superior tech in place, but he's behind on upgrades too. Stim finishing up, +1 weapons finishing up now for Thorzane, making 5 Marines and 2 medevacs at a time right now. That is a very strong force. Now, Marine King has very high quality units. He's got a tank, he's got 2 Banshees. They're very expensive units that when utilized properly will obviously kill a lot of stuff. But Thorzane has that very kind of blunt approach to it where it's just, here's a bunch of +1 Stim Marines.
And that's going to be a hard thing for MKP to deal with here in a second. That Banshee kill a Marine, and we'll then see this move out from Thorzane. As we were saying, if he got aggressive with this, could potentially get some serious damage in. The cloak does go down. Scan follows it as well. The Banshee, no. Oh, wow.
Who was the lucky Marine?
That Scan decided to reach his tendrils as far as possible.
You are the winner, Marine. Anyway, so this is an attack that's commencing right now, and siege mode is not done. It really limits the effectiveness of siege tanks. They still have quite high DPS, don't get me wrong, but it's being able to kill just large quantities of Marines is their real strength. And there's the stim. Thorzane actually going to rush in. Will he have enough to be able to heal these up? No. Looks like Marine King, oh no, with reinforcements coming up, Thorzane would have just gotten a lot of stuff killed had he tried to continue pressing the attack.
And he did have to fall back. I mean, he wanted to fall back a little bit earlier once the Marine count really was even, and there were 2 tanks also helping, but overall, MKP winning that engagement by a small margin is now going to be pushing out across the map.
He won that engagement pretty well, and that actually tied him up in this game. He's a little bit behind. Let's actually see. Does he have +1 weapons done? Yes, he does.
Can we actually take a look? I'm curious if he lost workers there, because I do know that Thorzane came...
3.
Okay, not many at all, yeah. That was actually really nice out of MKP then, because he came forward with his workers, but then we saw them turn around. And they just seem to have buffered a little bit of damage.
Yeah, we basically have a tie game now, for all intents and purposes. Looks like Thorzane is ahead on economy. His opponent is ahead on the amount of tanks and Marines that he has available, and medevacs, so the stronger army. I don't know how this is going to play out from here. We're kind of in a very stable mode. I think because of the superior economy, maybe Thorzane has a bit of an advantage. But this is really going to come down to who makes a mistake.
And, well, you got a nice drop like this out of Thorzane, getting in some serious economic damage.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, well, we were talking about advantages for both our players, and Thorzane now has a very large economic advantage. He just killed another 19 workers or something like that. Yeah, he's up by 19 workers overall.
MKP does have a very large army advantage, however. Look at the supplies, guys. They are almost dead even. Thorzane only ahead by 2, but MKP losing all those workers, it's really in the 4 tanks he currently has to just the 2 of Thorzane. But we'll see. MKP, he's got to probably feel confident in this match, knowing he was brought out here to face off against Thorzane. So does he want to push? You know, he's got the advantage right now, but maybe you want to take your time with this one.
It's TVT, man. It's so tough. I mean, you almost got to take calculated risks other places. Maybe I try and secure a 4th command center, something like that. Because if he ends up trading not the most cost efficiently, then he's actually in a terrible spot. Now, he is triple producing SCVs, and his opponent is actually making none. Thorsian has completely cut production at 63 SCVs for the time being. No additional command centers being produced, just triple calling down mules now. So, Marine King's actually going to make up this economic deficit very quickly. But
I think we just saw those mules drop all the way from space, by the way.
Yes, we did.
We got a little engagement going down here. Thorzane getting into a very nice position here on the low ground, but not close enough in order to fire. He's going to have to fall back to Xel'Naga Tower.
And looks like Marine King wants to try and push this and pick up a couple of tanks on the way out.
That tank is dead.
Yeah, see if he tries to stim again. He does, kills 2 tanks. He's going to get the 3rd before it even gets a single shot off. And now Thorzane has to fall back very rapidly.
I do want to say it was cute out of Thorzane. He took the 1 tank and actually sent it back into MKP's army to try to get Marine King to stop, you know, catching the other tanks. It was a nice attempt, but ultimately, yeah, Thorzane just caught on the retreat there, and MKP getting 3 easy victories over those tanks. In fact, that's Thorzane. Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
well, triple the tank count.
Yeah, it looks like he did just finish another one right now. And Thorzane, to his credit, did finish another factory, so he's actually double producing tanks, which will help him make up that deficit a little bit. But Marine King still does have that little bit stronger standing army, but he runs directly into 1 siege tank. Will he have enough with his own siege tanks right behind? They are very powerful, but that was a very nice line of units from Thorzane. He actually took pretty minimal damage from those siege tanks and was able to engage this extremely effectively and just completely neutralize his opponent's tank count. And once again, this is TVT.
Yup.
Marine tank TVT, and Thorzane swings things back in his favor.
It used to be called the game of chess. You know, TVT was always akin to that. You feel more maybe now it's a metronome. I don't know. What do you...
That's a decent analogy. I actually like that. It does swing back and forth. Usually the aggressor is punished, and then you just got to hope that your aggression doesn't punish you so much that you throw back your advantage to the opponent.
Can we say it's mountain climbing without a harness? Like, it's basically if you make a mistake, you can fall to your death.
Yeah.
Is really that's what more I want to go for here, because you're right. It definitely doesn't always swing back and forth. A lot of times you just kind of ride your early plays to victory, but chess, man, I feel like it's whatever. I mean, let's be honest here. MKP had an advantage, and Thorzane just somehow came away with a victory where he killed 6 tanks and lost none.
Yeah. Now, we need to talk about calculated risks again, because right now,
that surprised me too.
Yeah, whoa. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of a weird interrupt there. Sorry for the technical issues, but anyway. So Marine King is taking a calculated risk right now. He's producing Vikings. He's going to try and wrest control of the skies and try and push these medevacs back, because he already thinks he has enough of those out. And that's actually not a bad place for him to be necessarily if he is able to pull that off. Thorzane, though, is going to try and close this vice grip a little bit, and that could actually be a bit of an issue for Marine King here if he's contained in, especially if Thorzane decides he wants to try and expand out of this to a 4th.
Yeah, which is going to be really, really difficult with this tank line sitting here. I mean,
nice job, though. He's actually able to...
has the Viking advantage, yeah.
Yeah, and picks off one of the medevacs very early.
All right, well, what is that?
That would be...
Cell phone tower of the future?
Yeah. Teleportation to another dimension, perhaps? Thorzane, look at this.
Way more innovative than me.
He's actually flanking on 3 different sides here. Oh, if Marine King is able to engage one side of this before Thorzane can react, he can actually roll this and then turn back around into the other side. And indeed he does, starting to make his way back, but Thorzane has already overrun the first couple of forces. Marine King now coming back, and he's able to kill quite a bit there and actually stabilize for the second while chasing down these medevacs. But Thorzane still, even with losing a couple of tanks there, is still carrying a 5-tank advantage because he's now triple producing tanks.
And he's got better upgrades. This is Thorzane at his finest right now. MKP looking like he's going to try to, cut off some reinforcements, maybe just go for a counter base race here as he realizes that this is not a fight he's going to be winning.
Well, you were talking that this is Thorzane at his finest. Well, base trades with the Marines are Marine King at his finest. So can he do enough damage now, because it's already been initiated by Thorzane, who is trying to hold back here with the siege tank sitting inside of his natural, and he's actually done a fair bit of damage here. Marine King actually can't press in against that. It looks like Thorzane has eked out a massive advantage in this game.
Kevin Thorzan looking like he might take it off Marine King. This game incredibly back and forth, but now with the army of Thorzan marching to victory in the bottom left as he's thwarted the push at the top, it looks like this may be the end for the King of Marines.
No kidding. Thorzan proving to be very, very effective today. Yesterday, not the best performance for him, but today certainly working out to be pretty darn good. As Thorzan now closing the vice grip on this natural, and there's really nothing that can be done about that.
More than double the supply of Marine King. Thorzan currently definitely in a position where he's going to run and take this game. I mean, he's got one base. There's nothing that Marine King can do from here.
No.
Thorzan's still completely unstable economy.
Although Marine King has been that one player in the history, I think, of StarCraft 2 that's been like, well, what can Marine King do from here? And then he makes a drop of Marines and ends up killing his entire opponent's base. But not saying it's going to happen here.
Pulls
It's
a bomber versus
extremely
creator.
unlikely. Yeah, exactly. Not saying it's going to happen here necessarily, but because this is a pretty darn good position for Thorzan to be in. It looks like he's going to try and break this right here, right now. Just needs to kill a couple of tanks. 1, 2, then 3 of them fall. And that is going to be all she wrote for Marine King, down to just 12 supply. GG. All right, and Evil Geniuses is up 4-2. They're just one game away from taking this entire best of 9.
They are, and I mean, we knew they looked good, but hey, if they can take out Prime, you know, discussing how Prime was so close to making that run into the playoffs, playing a lot better this season. But wow, Thorzan coming out and securing 2 victories with relative ease in this set. I mean, that one was a little back and forth, but I still felt like every time I looked at the upgrades, Thorzan was ahead. He almost always had more tanks. His stim finish, he had everything wrapping up so quick.
All right, and coming up next for Prime, actually their last player, their ace, is going to be another Terran player, Maru.
Yep. Maru is so good. If there's anybody to pull out here to try to bring things back, this is the guy to do it. We'll see if he can, guys. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. It's Maru going to see if he can bring it back and kill EG.